What's good, y'all? So basically this whole video is describing how I go about day to day building leads in my city. All right, with this moving company, man, moving junk removal. It's not easy. The biggest thing I want to tell y'all, man, is, do your best to build relationships. Do your best to network. The name of the game is, of course, Google is our friend and we should use it as much as possible. But as far as paying for the advertisement, paying for the, CPC, Google ads, and paying for Facebook ads, Instagram, y'all already know, man, that stuff can get taxing, daunting. It can make your wallets slim really fast. Y'all get it. So, do your best to, I really believe in guerrilla marketing, man. I really believe in touching the people. And the way that we do that is basically going to, Publix or any convenience store or sandwich shop that you use. And, I usually get wraps or fruit platters, et cetera, et cetera. We go into these offices, shake hands, speak to the people. I mean, I just love the energy that brings. Like, they see how serious I am about my craft and my trade. They see how dedicated I am to it. So they know that them putting our flyers, our doorknobs, etc., our marketing material in the packets, on the move-in packets or the move-out packets, they know that it's gonna pay off and that they don't have a cycle or something like that. You know what I mean? They're not recommending a cycle or anything like that. That they see that, hey, these guys actually care, man. These guys actually care, and hell, they treated us for with lunch. I say if you can do it on a quarterly basis. If you can do it on I would say quarterly. Just to until you become a regular to that building, and because you're getting so much hit from customers and stuff like that. Do it quarterly, man. You know what I mean? Keep showing face. Build those, build that rapport. Make sure that they know you on a first name basis and that you know them on a first name basis. And I always ask, how could I help? How could I, improve? Or, what can I do to, just get in more people's faces in your building? You know what I mean? At one point in time, my city did not look like this. These big buildings, all these high rises were not here. You know what I mean? Regular average, what you're looking at on the right, that's what was here. Everything was one story, et cetera, et cetera. And as time has gone by, these buildings have gotten higher and higher and higher. And of course, mainly residential spots. So I think that I'm, this is my backyard, someplace that I grew up in, etc. And it's only right that I serve my backyard. You know what I mean? It's only right that I put in work in my backyard. I don't mind going throughout the county, the Tri-County area, but this is my backyard. I need to control this, own this. I need to, do the work here. So it's my backyard, and that's something I'm planning on doing more now. The deeper and deeper, we get into it. The deeper and deeper I get into the year. All right, so yeah, that's the thing, man. All right. Yeah, another thing I realize is, you're not gonna get it. Believe it or not. Let's say you want to do junk removals for these buildings. Just going up to them and saying, hey, I want to be a junk removal specialist is not going to cut it these days, man. You're going to have to build relationships with them. You're going to have to build rapport with them. And the way that you do that is by, basically being movers, you know what I mean? And, being at the building all the time. That way, when the person that is doing the junk removal slips, the contract is over, or they just, aren't doing a good job, or life happens and they move away or pass away, Lord forbid, things of that nature. When that stuff happens, guess who is going to be next up? You know what I mean? Guess who's next up on the radar? Because you know me, I'm going to always plant my little seeds. I'm always going to mention it. Always gonna keep it in the back of their mind. You know what I mean? Hey, hey, woo, 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 woo. Yeah, I'm right here. Check me out. I don't know. That's just some ways and some things I could put out there to you guys to just look at it from a different aspect. The guerrilla marketing, in my opinion, is probably even more important, if not more important, but just as important as the digital footprint and getting out there, man. And this is one way of doing it, man. You know what I mean? Feeding people. This is not cheap. We understand that. You see that. This is, just as expensive as some of these lead generating apps on out here. It's expensive, but I think it's more rewarding. Building the relationships, being in front of these guys' faces, talking to these people. They seeing you, you seeing them numerous times because you keep going back to that building. I think that's that's undeniable. And I think that's something that you should definitely look into getting and applying to your business wherever you are, man. Like I said, I don't mind being all over the Tri-County area, but why not control? Why not serve? Why not dominate the area that I'm in? Less taxing, less driving, less waking up early, you know what I mean? I can always wake up when I need to wake up instead of waking up super early because I gotta be in Jupiter or Lake Worth or, South Miami and Coral Gables or something. I gotta fight traffic. Why not control that small perimeter that surrounds me? You know what I mean? Anyways, that's all I got for you guys, man. Like, share, subscribe, and stay tuned for more, all right? King Move.